Hello everyone, this is Aldobrain's channel and we're playing Torrents of the Spellhoarder. We're here with April and Joe from Twice the Dice, John, our good friend, and Tommy. Please introduce your characters briefly and let's jump into action.
All right. Hello. I am April. I am playing Mayra Deepscar. She is a Triton Paladin, Oath of the Open Sea. So many words and information.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I'm playing Rax, and he's a Ranger Worm Slayer.
Oh yeah.
Hi, this is John, and I'm playing Ko, the Echo Knight Turtle, who had a great meal last night for some reason.
Don't forget Prince Cole, please. I know you don't, consider yourself too much of a royalty, but still, Tommy?
Hey everyone, I'm Tommy. I'm playing Ferromalars, who's a young bronze dragon ranger on the path to become a deep sea stalker. Hopefully, if I can survive that one.
I hope you can. Though I'll do my best to make it hard for you, dude.
All right.
To make it challenging. That's how they put it. To make it challenging.
Right.
Make it challenging. So, guys, we are on the Calhei Sea. This is the sated Contessa. The weather is still good. It will be hectic. You're prepared for all of that, and you're prepared for more than just the weather. You had some, especially Mare had some troubling thoughts even before start. There's no armament, no siege engines, siege weapons. It's just two very haughty and very confident people, Captain Geeks Short Pebble, the captain, and Jade, the first mate, Jade Storm, the first mate, the half giant, who is aboard the ship, looking as of considerable experience, but you're not sure about them yet. And the ship just departed from Brine Shore in Drael and is heading toward the islands of Santoros. And that is supposedly, if all goes well, a 6-7 week journey that you are undertaking on a sea which is even considered by Captain Giggs as the domain of Morgar, the Kraken. And these thoughts come up each time you go to sleep. The ship is rocking and you are inside the captain's dining room, which is a beautifully decorated, very very richly furnished room where you had a wonderful meal presented by the captain, and Jade, who was actually cooking it and creating the meals with Solara, the ship's cook, a young girl who is also acting as a maid and server of the food in this during this occasion, where you have already had the opportunity to meet and spend about 1-2 hours with the other guests and passengers of the ship, who are Lord. Not in order of importance, not in any particular order, but it's Lord Pritus Nerka, a traveler and explorer of new lands, a noble from Drael who is probably very bored and wants to spend, adventures and exciting times. Just getting away from home, basically. Then we have Father of Volnir, who is, I'm going to show you all these guys, of course. So this is Pritus Nerka, We have Father Volnir, who is one of the guests who've been brought on the ship by you and is a representative of Lord Samuel Drael, and is under your care, a priest of the God of Life, the Redeemer, a very silent, soft-spoken, gentle person who's very reserved and looks even shy. There is the total opposite, Codwing Villas, who is again also under your how do you say this? Under your wings, under your help me out here, under your protection, part of the delegation that has been sent by Lord Samuel Drael to Santoros. He's a diplomat who needs to pick up and strengthen these ties between the Lord's court and the nobility of the Isles of Santoros, the half dragon nobility that probably they want to set up trades and exchange of information and all that. Then there is this guy is really loud and outgoing, and is not the reserved diplomat type. So he's not really fitting the diplomat, like archetype that you would otherwise picture. So, and the fourth
Has a strange tattoo.
oh yeah, I mean, he has a strange tattoo on the back of his neck, which everybody saw except for Rex, I remember. And then there is Sorian Finanza, a very rich merchant from actually the Isles of Santoros, the only person who travels home with this ship, who conducted business here in Drael and in Brynshore, who is a drunkard, who is very outgoing, very casual, very positive guy. He has shown you this relic that he brought from Drael, and he brings back to Santoros to a certain half dragon noble lord called Lord Carnelis, and that's pretty much about them so far. Well, of course, this was a meal where they introduced themselves very briefly, and also Captain Giggs came up with an idea to hold basically a competition of boasts where they all presented some kind of a story that well, not all of them, because Father Volnir was reluctant to do so, but they all present a story where they wanted to express their own greatness, or just the good stories. So each of them told a different one. Very briefly, Lord Pretus Nerka told a story about meeting the Warden King, who he boasted that he became friends with the King of Vordan. Codwing Villas told a story about how he got the hands of his wife, basically pretending to be a very religious person to the high priest of the God of Life in another city, not in Brynshore, but in another Draelish city, which of course is not welcomed by Father Volnir, the way probably the others have, like probably the others have taken the story. And then there is Sorian Finanza's story, where he basically tells the story of this transaction that he did in Drael, where he got from a shady figure, a tomb robber. Basically, he got this relic which you have already could appraise by just looking at it, and putting its value around 7,000 gold pieces, is an extremely valuable artifact of ancient times, and it has some probably Aquan Elvish, and you put it together, it's probably a deep sea Elvish writings on it, and the sign of Orvanshi, which Mera recognized.
Have the sign of our top half.
Half, the top half, and it's half of a clam oyster shell, so it's a half of an oyster shell with half the sign. Basically, you ate, you laughed, you told your own stories, you listened to their stories. Jade just stands in the corner, observing everybody and pumping muscles sometime. And when it's over, you just disperse onto the ship. Some of you go to sleep. Sorian Finanza gets super drunk, so I mean he can't take it. I mean he can't resist just going absolutely drunk and like KO level, and then he's taken to his room. Kaduingulas is also drunk, but he can take it. And as far as I remember, Rax and Lord Pritus Nerka went up to the deck to have some smokes, and I pass the ball to you guys.
I think that as the evening goes on, something that Rax will try to do is slip away from everybody to wander some of the other areas of the ship as quietly as possible. He's not trying to necessarily sneak, but he's also not trying to draw a ton of attention to himself. Just kind of keeping to himself, wandering like he's sort of lost in thought, but he's trying to see if he can get a sense for anything else going on this ship that we don't already know about. Even wandering down to the lower decks, and if somebody stops him, he'll come up with a story. But that's kind of what he's
lab.
done.
I'm sorry, I wondered here. Yeah, that kind. Yeah. All right. Maybe I can connect this to other, to the others. So let's hear April, John, Tommy. April.
Go ahead, John.
Oh, okay. I think Ko would just go out onto the main deck and just kind of like breathe in the night air. He would message from his earring to both Rax and Mayra, saying, "Let's talk before we go to bed." And with message, they can reply back. But I think he would just spend some time in a little bit of meditation and thought, and getting used to the way the boat rocks.
Please check if there's if the message needs line of sight or not. Maybe this will come up later. Maybe it can save lives, or just.
Yeah, I think you have to look in the direction. So I think he would clock them as they're walking away.
Walls and everything. Okay. Please check.
150 feet, I believe.
Okay. So yeah, you're on top deck, and April.
Yeah. So she would respond if assuming I can respond to that message, and say, of course, I suggest we meet on the deck, and then from there. So forgive me, I was trying to keep track of where everybody was going. She wants to, and I think you said he's drunk and probably not the best time to talk to him. Sorlian
Finanza.
Yeah, because she does want to ask some questions about the island, and particularly Lord
Rinovaram Shatovind.
Yeah,
I read your thoughts. Okay, let's do that in the morning. Late in the morning. Okay,
right.
He's getting when he gets sober.
He's also the one who has the relic, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he's the fount of everything that she's interested in right now.
Okay.
So maybe he sees Rax kind of slinking off, or striding purposely. I don't want to assume. But he's heading around taking the ship, and she kind of keeps pace with him, walking as well, because she doesn't mind a thorough inspection. She figures she can, take another look, and if he has questions, well, she has all the answers at this point. So
yeah. All right. So So yeah, Rex, you're walking down these stairs, you know, and you hear someone, you stop, you let them pass by, you keep walking, and then you hear clanking armored footsteps behind you, clunch, 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 clunch. The usual stuff with the paladin, you know. I was thinking of. Okay, and then you look back, and I give the mic to you.
Hello, love. You're taking a bit of a walk as well, I see.
You seem very interested in the ship. That's good.
I'm very interested in the ship, but I'm more interested in what we don't know about this ship. I feel like there's a lot of fancy lads, and they've all got stuff going on, and I don't know what that stuff is. There's a bit of me that's very interested in things that people don't want other people knowing. So I thought I would just take a bit of a walk around and see what Orax can see. If you want to join me, company is always welcome, but you might have to, I don't know, just kind of dampen it up a bit. I knew you were coming, love, from like 5 miles away.
Oh, this is one of those, you are not asking for me to put myself in water and make myself away.
No, I just mean sort of like, you know, I don't know, mum it up a bit, put a coat on, I don't know, keep it, you know, a bit quiet, a bit sneaky, if you will. Although we're not trying to sneak around, we certainly don't want to be discovered 5 miles away.
Right. Understood.
Balls of your feet, love.
All right.
All right. I will walk with less precision. I will walk with less precision.
And while we're walking, if you don't mind, you can catch me up. I don't know what's going on. Who are these people?
Were you not listening?
No, I was listening, but there's a lot I don't catch, you know. I see more stuff than I hear.
Oh,
And I figured you don't have to actually recount it, but maybe that's just something that they're doing as they're walking. Oh, that's the guy from there. Oh, I get it.
Mara at that point delivers her report on her findings and observations over the last 2 days, basically recounting everything we received for the cost and responded to the request. And at that point, we were provided information of and then
That makes a lot of sense.
On this ship have been, I'm particularly concerned, but she's already reiterating what she'd already passed along to Co and Rex about the concerns on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we get a very thorough, militaristic, detailed recounting of her
I'm so thankful to be surrounded by such smart people.
All right, where do you start your exploration? So let me go. Let me show me with the pointer, please. You know, you walk out of this.
Yeah.
You walk out of this dining hall,
Mm-hmm.
which is the dining hall, and then where do you go?
I think he would make a beeline. Can you see my pointer?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I think he would make a beeline right for here.
Yeah.
All right.
We're just going to casually walk downstairs.
You just go into the hall. All right. So that is. There's the main hall.
And another thing that I found in my wanderings and noticed,
Oh, yeah?
I could observe,
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good.
So this is the main hall, the cargo hold, which is accessible from the main decks via a narrow staircase. The large space stores all sorts of materials needed for ship repairs, including coils of rope, silk for sails, wooden planks, nails, and a spare anchor. The trade goods prepared for sale are, so you see, of course, Gix and Jade are traders, so they have their stuff there. And the trade goods are mostly wine, which has Hill's Nectar, a sign on it that says Hill's Nectar, like it's painted or stamped over them. Hill's Nectar, and sacks of continental grain, crates of pelt, and barrels. You don't know what they can. Actually, there are flames on it, so it's probably oil. It says oil. Don't touch flammable. four barrels of those, and basic necessities. All the basic stuff for the upkeep of the ship, like fresh water, dried meat, smoked fish, and hard tack, which hopefully you will not have to taste during this.
Hopefully.
Now,
No boxes moving or sounds of help me from inside.
no, save me or rather kill me. No, it's there are people here, so the crew is here, taking up water or bringing down something that is broken or bringing up more ropes or whatever. So there's movement here, and they just nod, hello, hey, yeah. They pass by.
Good job, lads.
Well
done.
Yep.
Well done.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So the ship is wider than most ships to
Yes.
increase capacity.
It's the sated contessa.
This is aged Contessa, well-rounded. Does that, from a defensive capability, I guess, does that make it more of a target? Does it sit lower in the water?
It does sit lower on the water. It doesn't. This doesn't slow the ship down necessarily. What it does is that you can have more cargo carried, and of course, actually, it gets slowed down later. You can fill it up more, and it can go on its normal speed. Even with more cargo than a regular ship would. So actually, I would even say it speeds it up, sort of. So it can carry more cargo and still not be loaded. You can carry more cargo. Nothing, in terms of siege weapons, that extra half meter doesn't matter. So it has no.
Yeah, so April doesn't know about ships and our
No worries. We also learned a lot while we were writing this story. Don't worry.
The durability of the ship, but that wider capacity, whether or not it would impact, like you said, the speed, the maneuverability, or maybe potentially make it more of a target because of a wider hull. Or
yeah. Yeah. No. This is it. It can carry more cargo and slows down slower. Later.
Just to note, there's a value amount to the cargo as well, which may be appraised.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of figures are they working with?
okay, all right.
Yeah, you can, if you want, you can let's say roll an intelligence check.
Co wouldn't worry about that. Yes, they're merchants. They're selling things.
I don't think Rax would worry too much about that either. I think what he's looking for is
it's probably not the hundreds of gold pieces. It's the thousands of gold pieces level. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you go from here?
If nothing seems just out of place, and I'm not trying to, I don't want to take up too much time, but I think he would just kind of walk pretty much up and down. If that door is locked,
it's not. It's open. And
okay.
when you think of it, it's heavily used because this is where the crew lives.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think he would try to look in here. I think he would walk through here, almost like he sort of owns the boat.
Yeah.
And then the second somebody is like, "Hey, what are you doing back?" He'd be, "Oh, my mistake. I must have wandered too far." I'll apologize later. But right now we're just kind of walking around. So really no purpose, just throwing it out that's kind of what he's doing and seeing if anything pops out that is like, "Hey, we didn't know about that."
Sure. So this middle-aged woman, one of the crew members, comes out of through this door, and she just nods, hey. And then you walk in and nobody cares. You can see a couple of these sailors inside. They're resting in these hammocks. It's actually the first thing you that touches your senses is the musky smell. It's like really, really damp and smelly, and the musty smell is overwhelming there. Small. This is a large room which can accommodate 20 sailors in hammocks suspended from wooden poles. They play cards. They play Spellhoarder cards game. and they shout, I counter your fireball, and then they all go, no, you have a counter for my counter, can't believe that. And then that's 1 silver piece into my pocket, lad. And then they continue, and their basic equipment, like nothing special, like heaps of dirty clothes and just leftover food, not much because they of course take care of it, but and they are they're not throwing food around, but just a boot here and there, just stuff, so you walk out or you stay, or they just look up at you and say hey, they maybe they whisper to each other, and then
yeah, I think Mayra seems to play the card game, which is her favorite card game, but she knows that they all want to reconvene and talk with Ko about things, and that's more important in this moment. So
they invite you to play. So. They also shout at us.
They invite us to play?
Yeah. You can join us anytime you want. We will play, here a lot of times.
Why don't I go, Mayra? Why don't I go get Ko, and then we can have a good time with these lads, eh? How about that?
I think that we should stay. The things that we will want to talk about, perhaps not here, and perhaps that also takes precedent over having. There will be plenty of time upon this journey for me to teach you the rules of this game and to have fun with it.
If I had a timepiece that just said now on it, that's the time it would always be. Now is the time. But you're right. I'll follow you. Love. Wherever you go, I'll go.
All right. So there's this
inspection and feel.
So you see these 2 doors here closed. Well, from your perspective, it's the left side. It opens up and
Workshop.
It's the galley.
Okay.
So actually, Solara walks out. This girl who's been serving food, and who's the cook of the ship, and she just nods and walks by, passes by, and you can smell delicious smells left from the small kitchen of the ship. You can see through the door. It's a small kitchen. It's kept very tidy compared to the other areas of the ship. It features a long cutting board where sausages and the leg of a lamb are being prepared as you look in there, along with the ingredients for a vegetable stew in a large pot. Many knives and cooking utensils hang on pegs above the table. A small stove.
Good.
A small stove sits in.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I just finished very briefly. It's a very small room. A small stove sits by the opposite wall, where a pot of soup is bubbling away and sausages are being grilled.
Was Solera the one who made all of the food for the feast?
Yes.
All right. Mayra, seeing her, would kind of touch Rax on the shoulder to indicate that she's about to walk over, and walk over to Solera and just say, "Thank you very much for your fine feast that you provided this evening and all your work in preparing."
Oh, she smiles at you, and I don't even remember when someone was so kind and gentle to me. These words are really touching my heart. We could be best friends even, I think. And she smiles and then walks off.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Well, she's joking, obviously. And she's thankful, but she in her rude, sailor type of manner. And she touches you, like really kindly, just as a sign of thanks and appreciation. But she just jokes about it, and I'm really happy you enjoyed the meal. Actually, she adds that enjoy it while the fresh food lasts, and we don't have to go for the pickled and dried stuff. Yeah.
Look over at Mayra.
Very big point that keeps being made. I imagine for humans
Yes.
that is a serious consideration.
Yeah, and also the captain loves his belly, and not just his belly, his huge ego as well. But well, whatever. I need to do this and that, and then she leaves. So
Look over at Mayra. I don't think we're going to find anything down here, love.
So
Let's head back.
there's another room, a workshop opening from here. I don't know if you want to go further. I mean, if you want to, go into the kitchen.
He's really only going to stop if something stands out as suspicious. If everything just looks like a ship, he's just like, yep, looks like a ship. Great.
Know
good to
until
go.
you explore. So you go.
That's true.
you go
That's
into
true, but I don't want to leave Co up there too long. We're like,
We'll be fast about this. We'll
Yeah.
be fast about this because this is a kitchen, and very tidy, as I said, well equipped. And tomorrow's meal is already cooking, and it's and there's a door opening to a small workshop. The workshop is relatively long. What? Tables line the walls. Many types of woodworking equipment. Large box holds nails and smaller metal parts. There is a guy in there who nods and says, "Hey, I'm Gerald. I'm the ship's engineer. I work with Bubbaro, the boatswain. He's usually in there. He's repairing some broken rigging parts and other stuff."
nice. Well, keep up all the good work. Thanks for keeping everything floating.
Yeah, sure, of course. We'd be in trouble otherwise. Then you go. This is the workshop, right? And then you go. No, this is the workshop.
Yeah. That's the larder behind the kitchen. And then laboratories, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
that's it. So that there's not much here. The larder is filled with food stuff for the entire journey. So there's lots of food stuff here, packed to the ceiling. And then there's one door which is closed, where actually you can see Jade's. This is Jade's room. I mean, if you ask, they just to relate the information, and they say that's Jade's room. Don't go in there.
Thanks for the heads up.
And then if you go up, if you would, just to cover everything, well, you have the rooms and you have the upper deck, everything, and then you have the captain's room again, something you don't intrude
Right.
on. So this is the ship. So you can go Co now.
Right. Well, thanks for taking a walk around with me and catching me up on what I missed at dinner. I appreciate it. By the way, Deep Scar was such a cool last name.
There are hot names.
Yeah, well, no, it's not. It's great. It's so good.
Yes, it has
So-
meaning. Yes. Yes.
Well, but it's also cool. It's like having a name Steelhammer or something like that, or Iron Fang or one of them names. I don't have anything like that. So I think it's great. Deep
They're saying
Scar.
that as they come on deck, Co would say, it
Yeah.
intimidates your enemies and inspires your friends.
That's right. That's how you know something's cool. And to set the record straight, I think it's great. I think it's great. Couldn't have chosen a better name.
I think that this is a compliment, and I appreciate it. It is.
Nice.
I appreciate the acknowledgement.
It's definitely a compliment.
I like it too.
Good gravy, mate. Oh. Not used to that.
Okay.
Co would probably start by looking at and addressing Mara. So, having gone through the ship again, is there anything that caught your eye that I should know about?
Aside from what we discussed earlier, I don't believe so. The crew is competent, as we discussed. Of course, we won't know the full extent of their capabilities and when it comes to defense and offense until we actually are able to observe that in a combat situation. But that being the case, we must trust that they have made this and other journeys many times. The ship itself, I think Rax offered a very what is a cool suggestion in using his crossbow in place of the fact that there are no such types of weaponry on the ship. I do have concerns about the possible maneuverability, the extra capacity that is allowed for that changes the dimensions. Again, perhaps that can be some concerns if we do get ourselves into that situation.
Can we jump in?
Does that answer your question? Yes.
Yeah. When you say "do," that is my concern, that the ship is not ready for any combat, and we will see it. I'm very concerned about that, and that there are more and more mysteries than there are solutions. Yes, Rax?
Oh no, I was going to say that fella with a bit of crackle to him, Jade. I think he's got a lot of surprises up his sleeve, and I think old Gix has got a lot of surprises as well, not showing his full hand. And if we fall into trouble, I think them two lads have been on the sea long enough that they know how to do their stuff. And like you said, we've got old Celeste. And old Celeste knows how to go to work. And of course, the two of you, Lars over here, I mean, he's a whole combat unit unto himself. We'll have to be creative when it comes down to it.
Lars stands a little prouder and taller when you say that.
Oh, you're majestic, you are that.
So
looks down and the wings at you.
My Co would say, so are we thinking that we need to do shifts tonight?
Not a bad idea.
Okay, that was one of my first big concerns.
Can I ask something? Is there someone on the lookout
No.
permanently? So is there someone stationed there at night? And
In the crow's nest, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. Yeah, that would have been the first thing that Mara would have also wanted to look and see if they have a lookout posted.
80 feet height.
I sometimes check if they're sleeping or not.
Yeah, well, they wake immediately as they roar past. You know. Oh, the dragon is here! Oh my god. Okay, let's say the night is the night passes and you take shifts and nothing happens, and then taking shifts just takes some of you sleep, of course, longer into the day, but eventually the morning comes and Mera is up and you meet Sori and Finanza. There's just a bit of a meal structure here. So there's a morning meal that you can take in the dining area with the captain even. So it's basically a standing buffet. You just walk in, whatever Solara prepared and placed on the table you can take, and you don't dine with the sailors who just eat in their own crew area. And then there's always a dinner in between. You can ask for food if you're hungry, but that's it. And while you are in the morning, Mare meets Solrian Finanza, who sits by the table and peels an egg and just eats.
Well, I think the last thing Mara would have done before we broke up last night was she would have also talked to Ko and Rax and Lars and shared the information and questions she has. One about the relic.
Sure.
So just kind of that brief information about I'm gonna get the pronunciation. Arvenshi.
But then let's roll back to this because you might need to discuss stuff. So
Okay.
let's say it's night. I didn't know you wanted to go into details of that. And you're at the top front of the ship. Nobody's around. you keep talking in a lowered voice and you speak. Speak, please.
Right. My concerns for the ship are also because we are traveling through a particularly dangerous area of the Cathay Sea?
Calhay.
Calhay. Oh, so close. Calhay Sea. That is the domain.
Oops, she's
Oh.
gone.
The domain of the mystery disconnect.
Can you help her, please? Oh, she's back.
Oh.
1 sec.
Hey.
Okay, was that just me
There she
that
is.
Yes.
went away?
That was just you. Yeah.
All right, I'll
Take 2.
Calhay Sea.
If that's not a sign, I don't know what is.
It's the magic word. Calhay Sea. Boom. You're out.
Oh, okay. So you didn't even hear me the part of the Margar, because that's when it went black for me.
Oh, Morgar is that's what brings the curse on all this.
The main of Morgar. He is a vile and powerful being. There is a kingdom under the sea, thousands of years old, a beautiful and powerful kingdom of sea elves, Arvenshir. Morgar reigns there now. And as I said, the area of the sea that we're going through will pass through his domain. So, concerning,
What's
There-
our strategy if we encounter him?
if we encounter him,
Swim the other way.
Or fly?
If he's the ruler of this area, if we encounter him, it's too late if we have no plan.
Mayra, what's your concern?
that we be prepared. It's dangerous, and as Lars said, we should have a strategy on not only perhaps the more normal dangers of the sea that we've already thought about, but that this is particularly unique and terrible. He himself is a titan unto himself in terms of threat, but he also commands an army, multiple armies. I'm right about that, right?
Yes, you've heard about the armies of Morgar and undead mostly. Also, one additional information to keep in mind is that Captain Geeks, Short Pebble, and Jade have traveled with the Sated Contessa or other ships because they shift ships like
Like
a ballerina.
socks.
Yeah, like socks. They have traveled this journey a couple of times. They must know something, They feel
Right.
safe. They didn't look worried or so. They really looked very cool, about the whole journey. Just regular, we go, we come, we go. So that's I wanted to add this.
Yeah, no, and it's a really good point. The captain and his first mate, they have made this journey. Sorleon has made this journey as a merchant.
Yes.
So obviously, I would hope that there is something that they know or have plans for, that they have been able to make this safely, but I would like to know what that is. It would add to our strategy.
You hear a low hiss from Ko, and he follows up. Something's up with that. It bothers me to no end, and I have no remedy for it.
You are both very suspicious.
I just like knowing what's on the boat I'm going on. I think these lads just want to get from A to B, and I'm glad that we get to travel with people who know what they're doing. And hopefully we stay out of trouble along the way.
Well, this
But
is
if we need to be suspicious and we need to be on high alert, then I'm happy to do that.
my other is this island that we are going to, Zentharos. I know very little about it other than what has been mentioned. And it seems Sorleon should be a source of information to be able to tell us about the island And Cadwin and the father should definitely be a part of that discussion, given their role in this, of understanding what exactly we're walking into. And perhaps he also has information about Lord Rinavara. Rinavara.
Rinavaram.
Rinavaram. And the relic.
When you mention
Well,
Santos, Pharaoh Malar says, it's a place of pilgrimage for my kind, and dragons of all colors and types.
That's
It has,
interesting.
it has been like that for millennia.
I think Rex also knows. Heard some of this, right, from the bard and from your previous adventures and knowledge about dragons.
Just
Coed, oh,
no, I was gonna say,
What?
just can't wait to get there.
Lars, have you already made this journey, this pilgrimage, or will this
I
be your
have
first?
not, no.
Good to know.
I'm excited, but exciting it is.
And how do your people feel as a whole about the slavery?
Angry, you get an angry snort from Lars.
The more we can set free, the better.
You mentioned this relic. You talking about that clamshell?
Yes. The symbol, the half symbol on it, is of Rogunche, which is this sea elven kingdom that I mentioned.
Oh, so it's a relic from that kingdom.
Yes.
Well, how did he get it?
That is a very good question, Rax.
Thanks.
One that I bet
Jack
you'll
feels
be
pretty
good
proud of
ferreting
himself. He's like, oh,
But he said he bought it.
There's many stories that we have to hear and listen and ferret out, I think, here.
Did he lie? Do you think?
we could
I
sit
can
down
find
and
out.
ask him some questions, but I don't want to seem like we're, all of a sudden an inquisition against this guy. But maybe over breakfast you bring it up. I'll keep an eye on his expressions, and we'll find out what's what.
That sounds very insightful.
does.
All right, so the morning comes, and with the morning comes breakfast, and within this room, together with you, let me just put this there. So let's use the map. We have Lord Pritus Nerka sitting in your place. And Saurian Finanza a bit further down, and of course you all walk in and sit down, join him.
Ko would be just a moment or two late. One of the things Ko likes to do for Mayra is to fix what he thinks it would be her favorite drink. He fixes it to make sure and presents it to her. Just kind of I want to make sure your day starts well. And then for Rax, he would ferret into his pocket and find the last good treat from the port where we were all on the and got the letter and sneak that onto his plate like the last good one.
You're a good man. Thank you, Cole.
Nero would take the drink and give a little bow in appreciation and respect for the thoughtfulness.
You have to, John, you have to create a sound for this feeling, right? The feeling of being appreciated. Or something like that,
okay.
like a very special one.
I will. That
And then you bow, and Okay, so breakfast. It's eggs and fruits while they last, and some fresh meat. I mean, not raw meat, but ham and stuff. Everything that that isn't preserved is consumed in the first 2-3 weeks, and or 2 weeks or first week or whichever lasts however long they last. And but they are, as you step in, you don't know where the others are. These two are basically sitting by themselves, not even really in a discussion. Both of them just eating. And maybe exchanging a few words like, "Could you please pass the salt?" says Lord Pretus, or something like that. Very, very, very not in a heated discussion. Mostly because Sorian Finanza is really, really, really battered. I mean, he's really not in a good shape, and he's clever in drinking a lot of water. And also eating up, but he seems like he's pale and he's weathered. So when you enter the room, he just looks at you. He doesn't even say good morning. He says morning. It's not so good for me.
Co hearing that would say, do you suffer from seasickness?
Oh no! I traveled these seas a couple of times, and I'm just. Last night that wine was heavier than I thought.
Yeah, it was a good wine.
I'm sorry, I cut back to the accent. A really good wine. It just took over me too quickly, I think.
Pace, it's always about pace.
Oh yeah, I should have learned that.
Yeah.
My mother used to say, "Oh, mama," she used to say. Anyway. Please eat it. Lord Nerkar just nods and says, good morning.
Morning.
Mara nods to everyone, takes a seat, starts to pile up her plate with food. She does eat meat. Eggs are... She still doesn't understand the concept of eating the young of other creatures, so she stays far away from those, but
horrific, yeah, I know.
Oh, April, the season is so good. I love it.
And she looks at Sorleon, kind of evaluating how cognizant he seems, and says, "Is your mind clear and able enough to impart information of note and answer questions?"
So practical. He looks up at you and says, "Oh, always. I could easily haggle. I could have easily haggled over anything yesterday. Either. It's just this headache that I should be getting rid of. Oh my god."
Co would mutter under his breath of
Eternal Mother, save my soul. Oh my god, I'm feeling so bad.
Will you require gold for your information?
What?
Muttering under his breath to Mayra, a little more finesse.
It depends. And he smiles. And then Lord Nerker just interrupts and says, "And what is the purpose of your visit to Santoros, if I might know?"
Is he asking us?
Like you. Oh, like looks at from the end of the table. Like turns his head from Co to Mara, and that's.
I think Chloe. I gotta stop doing that thing. Chloe, Co would click to kill people.
Oh my god!
Just that little bit of
So okay. So Lord Nerker stays extremely calm, like he doesn't raise an eyebrow, like does Sorian Finanza, who half chokes on the egg. What?
I'm gonna laugh nervously. And
and Lord Nerker,
So funny.
very, 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 like doesn't lose the etiquette and the whole demeanor. He's mixing tea leaves into a pot and says, "And what kind of people are you looking forward to kill?"
Lars says, are Sahuagin people.
Oh, he stops stirring the tea and says, "Sahuagin in Santoros? Are those sea creatures known as the devils of the sea, as I recall, if I recall well.
Right, fish faces.
Fishman from the
Fish
below.
people. I guess they are people.
Aye.
Well, I don't know much of them. What's the situation like in Santos and with regards to the Sahuagin?
Leaning in and listening.
And this is Lord Critus asking.
Pritus Nerkra, yes, Lord Pritus
Pritus.
Nerkra.
Sorry, I'm terrible at pronunciations.
sorry.
Lord Critus is asking.
Excuse me.
You are a very
Yep.
curious person.
Oh,
Curiosity is a good thing.
he doesn't respond and says then, I've been taught to stay silent if I need to. And he looks at you. Then Solrian just tries to break the inconvenient conversation and says, after just removing half of a half-chewn egg from his mouth and like coughing half of it up, and says, so, holy warrior, you've been asking me about something, and you wanted to pass some gold on. So you got me curious. You know, I'm here to listen. I try to get over the headache and focus. What are you interested about?
I do not know much about this Sunthals, so you see, should be familiar with it. I would like more information.
Of course I am. I am from Santaros. Santaros, a lot to tell.
Were you born there?
We will need a bigger plate here. And then he starts packing more food on his plate and says, I've been born in Santaros, yes. I'm the son of Brankin Finanza, who I inherited the shop from. My late mother, Mariana Finanza, best cook in town. Santaros is a mysterious island. There's a lot to tell and there's a lot to explore and a lot I don't even know about. So, what is exactly you're asking about?
Are your movements restricted?
Oh yes, definitely. Okay, let's start from the basics. So, the Isles of Santaros is ruled by the half-dragon nobility of the island. The ones we call the gifted, you know, these individuals are born as half-dragons, from different species even, elven, half-elven, halfling, and dwarven, human, whatever, even dragonborn who are born as half-dragons. This occasion is very, very rare on the island, and this is rumored to be the inheritance of Xantaros itself, the great primal dragon that basically makes up the land of Xantaros. This dragon died and been slain thousands of years ago, and his body formed into this mysterious chain of islands that we now call the Islands of Santaros. And well, I don't know much about the history and the background of this legendary event. All I know is that the essence of the dragon seeps through generations, and some of these individuals who are born as half dragons. These gifted are then elevated into nobility. In ancient times, the half-dragons joined forces, formed clans, and subjugated all other species on the island, being more powerful, able to fly and breathe, whatever energy they breathe, using their superiority to subjugate the other inhabitants of the island. Before the Dragon Pact, they even waged wars, the war of the descendants against the dragons that lived on the island. Don't feel offended, please. This is just history, this is the past. Now dragons are serving the Scale Council as enforcers within the Seat of Scales, the city of their throne. They're the only city on the island. And there are even more like Oszizian Sostir, the great oracle, who the green dragon who serves. I wouldn't say he serves the Scale Council and the Half Dragon Nobles, but there are dragons who live on the island and made peace with the nobility. These clans form the council, and the 6 ancient houses run the nation, basically living in their own, like ruling over their own territories and running their own armies and upkeeping their own armies and naval forces for their own purposes, and they join forces whenever needed. Basically, just to get back to your question, I'm sorry, I'm distracted also, not just the headache.
No, good information. Good information.
Wonderful food. Yes, sir, yes, please.
No, I was going to say, as he's talking, I'm going to make him a hangover cure. What's a little tomato juice, a little bit of ale, a crack an egg. I'm just whipping up a hangover.
Are you making
cure
this
for him.
up, or you know how to do a hangover?
No, I think Rax would be very familiar with how to get your senses back. So as he's telling this story, that's what Rax is doing. And then
He doesn't know you're doing this for him, but when you pass it on to him, he's like, "Oh, thank you so much, thank you. This is really what is this good for? What this is?
It's good for all what ails you. Just drink it.
Okay.
I've had it plenty of times. It helps.
Okay." He drinks it, and he continues by saying that where was it? The council.
The ancient houses, clans.
The ancient houses. I wanted to add something. Anyway, so this is how. Oh yeah, referring back to your question, dear lady, paladin. You asked if your movement is if you're about. To cut to the point, I'm sorry. You, as an outsider, you are only allowed to stay in the Seat of Scales, which is a city of trade, basically. Half of the city is the wide bazaar, and the purpose of the city is twofold. One is the meeting place for the council at the throne. That's what he calls it, and then there is the trade that goes on in shops like mine. The Shrine of Talent, and then of course the wide bazaar, where you can basically buy anything you want from the lands of Santaros or from other nations. Lots of very interesting stuff there. So you cannot leave as an outsider. You cannot leave the city. You are obliged to stay within its walls, and you are only allowed to dock at the landing, which is upkept for the outsiders. The maw itself is for the dragon ships of the nobility. You see?
Yes.
You can, of course, leave the city if you have a permission, a written permission.
Oh, such as a letter, an invitation letter. Good. What do you know of Lord
Rina? Voran.
Rinavaram.
Rinaran?
Good Lord, Rinavaram Shatterwind. I know him, not personally, but he's one of the leader of the ancient houses. That's like a king. That's very, very prestigious position within the council and within the whole nation. He's a very, very rich man. He's a dwarven half brass dragon. He is very, very powerful. His clan is in the mountains. They are well known for their weapons and armor that they produce. They are.
Oh, we click at that. Weapons and armor.
Their estate is deep within the mines of and the mountains of the north. They are prestigious, big, powerful, wealthy clan. Have been around for thousands of years.
And the man himself?
Well, this man is I heard he's capable of casting magical spells. He's a sort of a war mage, I would say. He's a warrior who knows magic. That's what he's famous for. Very strict man. Very strict man, I heard. Very strict man. He's not somebody who's fooling around, you know. I heard he's a trustworthy man. He would come to my shop. I would be honored to serve him, you know, and I could, take his word for granted.
And he keeps slaves?
All of the Santorosians keep slaves. Like everybody is a slave. Besides, either you are a slave, either you are a outsider or a half dragon noble. You know, most of the population on Santoros are slaves. Like I would say, I don't know, like 90%. Everybody is a slave. They are paid well. Don't take it hard. They are paid well. They are kept well, but depending on their masters, like the fear, with the burning zombies. I wouldn't go near them, but
What?
yeah,
What
there are.
zombies?
Yeah, I
This is
feel
a,
like we should back up a bit.
Yes, that was a big drop.
This is an adult clan that I really don't do trade with. They are mostly isolated in their laboratories. Some elven half dragon magic users I don't really mingle with. Now the Grillocks. They are managing slave trade. They are more into slavery and more harsh on their slaves, trading them, these Duergar half dragons. But then there are the let's say there is the more. I don't know why I started such a beautiful breakfast and I'm starting with all the bad news.
This is beautiful, mate. You're doing exactly what we hope you would do.
I'm happy. I can
To be clear,
I hope you visit my shop as well, and then we can have some, mutually beneficial exchange of other goods. Now, just to put it short,
John wanted to.
John, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, so are the flaming zombies in a state or district, or are they all over?
No. These clans live in their own estates,
Good to know.
like spread all over the
Okay,
islands.
so we won't just randomly stumble onto them.
Oh, and especially not Clan Fear. They are really reclusive, so they are not really showing their faces. Luckily, but then there is Clan Astrilax. You don't want to meet the Coil. The old Coil is really probably you don't want to be on the bad end of Clan Astrilax. But then, as for slave rights, famous and quite how to put it, very provocative from a half dragon noble. There is Clan Yestril, for example, who I've heard actually consider slaves as free people. Within their estate, I've even heard they are freeing the slaves. Probably if I was a slave, I'm lucky I'm not. If I was a slave, I would be happy to be one of the Yestriels. Now for myself, I'm serving. I'm just a humble servant of Clan Astrov. An adult clan of half blue dragon humans, merchants of luxurious items, and the big upkeepers of a big navy. They are my bosses. To put it so.
What was the name of this clan that has freed their slaves?
It's Yestril. It's YESTRYLL. Yestril. I'm sorry for my pronunciation. I take it from my mother's heritage.
No, it's a very nice accent. I like it quite a bit.
That was great information.
Okay, I'm really happy. Well, you know what? My headache is kind of gone, so I would say
Rax is the best. Rax is the best.
let's have some wine, maybe.
Oh, a little more water first.
Well, I have this tankard full of water, and I'm really aching. I mean, we're on vacation, sort of. 6 weeks. We can hang out, and then pulls up a glass of wine and start sipping it. I'm taking this very slowly now. I promise.
Oh, good.
Is this the fella that had the half shell, the clamshell?
Yes.
If not to introduce even more stuff, but I'm quite curious about that clamshell you had. That was cool. I mean, apologize. That was very nice. Quite
Well,
odd.
I am trading with lots of kinds of these, lots of artifacts from different times and different locations, far and near. This is something that that Lord Carnelis is really interested about, and I had the opportunity to acquire it. So I think he will pay good money. To tell you the truth, he's probably playing. I was promised, and he looks at Lord Nerkrad like spilling some information that maybe he should not, but he then decides that, but whatever. So he's like hesitant to say that he's even ready to. I was told that he told me that he's even ready to pay double the money.
So it's already got a buyer.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I've got a buyer, but I have other goods on sale. Like at the Shrine of Talent, I have this wonderful dagger, which is probably I'm still I need to still run some tests and have some requests made towards the right people. It's probably from hell.
Do you
dagger from
say
hell.
that? Say that again. What?
It still laughs. It is probably from the 9 hells. It's probably from hell itself. It's.
I thought that's what you said.
I
He takes
think-
a
I
really
thi-
big drink.
I hope it is made out of the bones of a bone devil itself. I was told, and I don't know what that is, but as soon as I get it appraised, I will evaluate and put a price tag on it. A very high one.
How does one
Yes.
acquire such things like this clamshell?
It's-
Like, how did you come upon it?
The clamshell itself. Well, I told you the story. It is a very, very strange story. I usually get this from adventurers and wizards of all kind. This one I got from a self-proclaimed tomb robber, I must say. He said it. I can just tell what he said. He wanted to convince me that this was probably this is how he wanted to convince me that this is a very, very precious item, and I was convinced, and I was I didn't really. I have to tell you, we're friends, we're family here. After 6 weeks, we will travel together. We will feel like family. I must say, I don't care where this is from. Until Lord Carnelis pays lots of gold. And I need to upkeep a family. I need to upkeep a lifestyle. He got it from a tomb. He got it from his grandmother. I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
He sold it to me. He's been chased by some other. You know what? He's been running away from Santaros. I know he's been. I know that. I don't care. He's been chased by, as I told you earlier. There's a half dragon noble on his trails. I don't know which one. I don't know. A young clan, adult clan, ancient, one of the ancient clans even. I don't care. I will sell this 6 weeks from now. I will sell this to Lord Carnelis, and I'm moving on to the next business. I even have it pointed out. It's very interesting. It's an old tome, like a very old book, describing different types of herbs, magical herbs.
The relic was found, you said, with the book describing herbs.
No. That's my next business after the relic.
Gotcha.
I'm aiming to acquire it. I have sent my assistant. Tommy, can you help me with the name?
Billigen, I think. Billigen. Swift.
Swiftfoot.
Swiftfoot.
Yeah. Mr. I sent Swiftfoot to make an offer. We will see what the response will be. That's how we work at the Shrine of Talent.
Well, best of luck with all that, mate. Sounds like a lot.
So what are you up to? And so this is the Sahuagin business. Is this good business?
Sorry, Billiam Fastfoot.
Billiam Fastfood is the assistant's name.
Lars has chimes in a little bit, and because you did mention at the dinner that the relic is magical.
Yeah, well, it
so-
sparkled
so it has.
magically. Yeah.
Do you know what the magic it holds is?
No. Unfortunately, I am not able.
Or what the writing says?
Oh, not that either. I know it is in deep sea Elvish, but I don't speak the language. Very rare. It's a mix of Aquan and Elvish, and very, very rare. I don't speak it. Maybe well-educated Lord Nerkra can decipher the Lord Nerkra finished the tea and says, "Well, I don't speak languages that have been born in water. These I don't speak. I don't. A very interesting story. I'm really happy to listen to all of your stories. Please carry on.
Look over at Mayra and Co.
Well, if you need someone who speaks an underwater language, you're in luck, mate.
Yes, I would like to see this relic again and take a closer look.
So at this point, the door opens and Father Wolnir walks in and says, "Good morning," and sits down at the table.
Ko would stand up and bow, especially for the father.
May the Redeemer bless us all.
Exactly.
Oh, just don't worry about me. I didn't want to interrupt anything, good sirs. So yes, good morning, Father. Good morning. Good to see you. Do you have something against headache? Oh, definitely, I could redeem your headache. Oh, please do that. Please, if you could, just please. Oh, of course. So, if you don't mind, he goes. Let me not put him there, but he goes behind him and please stand and say the words with me. Bless us, Father Redeemer, the Holy One, the Brother, the Treasure. And then Sorian Finance kind of says the words, and then he goes. At the end we say, "Bless us all." And then Sorian Finance says, "I can do that. I'm sorry. I'm very bad at singing. Just say it." Okay, and then he says, and then he casts a spell, which you can probably, I don't know if Mera probably can. You can cast Lesser Restoration, right? And then he casts Lesser Restoration, and then Sorian Finanzas, just the blood comes back to his face. You know, he gets, his skin tone gets darker. And, oh, Father! He grabs him and hugs him, and oh, God bless the Redeemer is with us. Thank you so much for your help. Oh yes, the Redeemer is everywhere in all life forms. And then he sits back at the table and, "Can you please pass the sausage?" And then Sorian Finanza continues with the story.
Look over at the father as he sits and say,
You know, if you're looking for a lot of new followers, I know a few taverns you should hit up the next day.
Oh, I'm not that type of cleric. I'm really here to explore the gift of Santarsius. Well, there is not much to explore about that. It just happens randomly. You know, there is no particular pattern to it. Well, we will see what I can find and research.
There are
You
very
mean
few
to
things.
tell me? Go ahead.
There are very few things in life that are truly random, especially once research is provided.
Y'all don't think? Yeah, I said y'all. He doesn't say y'all. You don't think that there's sort of a choosing? Always found with nobility, that sort of thing is, it's a bit engineered, isn't it?
Excuse me?
You don't think that it's engineered? Like,
It is not engineered. It is obviously a look. There are half to prove my point, and to just look. This is absolutely random. The some of the slaves even give birth, and there were events when slaves have given birth to these half dragon children. You know.
I'll
Are
bet.
they still slaves?
Well, they were taken from their mothers and fathers, of course, and they were adopted by a clan of the appropriate species or color of the dragon. That's how it works. Sometimes even these clans merge, and form bigger clans just to gain power and elevate from young to adult and adult to ancient. But that's very, very rare. And of course, the politics is always there. It's always dirty politics, like somebody behind the
I think
other.
Mayra picks up on Lars's noises and does not have nearly the resonance, but there's a little bit of a noise.
Well, yes. Father, would you care for some nice wine? It's not the yesterday's heavy red. It's this white wine, but still very tasty. Oh no, thank you so much. I'm not drinking. No, thank you. I'm good. Okay, so what else would you like to know?
Well, there's much that I want to know, but back to the relic.
The relic.
You were going to show us the relic so that we could take a closer look. This will help you too, because we will be able to share more information, which will possibly drive up the price when you give it to Lord.
I have to say,
That's a
this
good
is something very valuable. You know, I don't want to get into trouble with Lord Carnelis. I don't want to maybe, you drop it, one of the pearls fall off. I don't know. I mean, this is precious stuff. This is my livelihood. I don't think this is something to pass around like a mug in a bar or like a tavern.
It is
Maybe
your
you
But
just
you
call it out.
you can roll for a charisma persuasion check, of course, and try to convince him.
Yeah. So I think Mero would like to do that. It is your item. I will not take it from you. I will just trust that you will do the right thing.
I hope you are not going to take it from me. I would have to run to the captain and tell on you.
Listen, mate, putting a hand on Mayra and holding his hand out, there's a bit of a language barrier, obviously. She's not going to just take things. She doesn't mean it like that. Not like you and I understand it. It's a bit of a language difference, that's all.
I understand. I can see from the tone of your color that you are not from around here. It's very rare to see such blue person around. With such green hair.
Perhaps instead, to make this easy, you could take the clamshell and just hold it out so she can read it.
Roll a persuasion check, please.
Oh, he has no persuasion.
You can roll high. I would say,
It's
if you
not
hit a
great.
DC 15, then you succeed.
Absolutely not with a 2.
I got a 25.
25.
Dang. Wow.
Sorry, my back. 14 plus 9. 14 plus
23.
gets us to 23. There we go.
One technical question.
Wow.
Are you seeing the dice rolls?
Yes.
Yes. Maybe I'm... It's very strange. On the stream, I can't see the dice rolls. That's a problem I need to fix there. With 23, you just go into a... this is something very important for my people. This is something that might hold secrets that are... And then you are really, convincing and straightforward and honest about your thing. And he says, okay, it's okay. I understand. Okay. You don't have to put me in the corner. It's okay. I will fetch it for you. Actually, I have it on my person all the time. So I'll show you what. No, he looks around and says, well, you can come to my room and see it. If you want. It's in my room, in my reliable repository.
So Mayra knows Aquan, so she can possibly interpret those, but she does not know Elvish. I know, I can't remember if that was.
Yes.
Is that something that I would know, that you know that language?
I mentioned that. Yeah, Lars mentioned.
Okay, I thought you had said
Or
it.
at this point he mentions, because he has brought it up that, Soldier and Finanza brought it up, that this is in Deep Sea Elvish, which is half, a mix of Aquan and Elvish. So now you can, Lars can, say that I know
Lars
Elvish.
says, I grew up next to an ancient villa of Carillion elves.
Alright, well, you can come to my
Taught
room.
me the language.
Now, I would like to ask everybody to roll a couple of things at this moment. Please roll a wisdom insight check.
Wisdom insight check.
Now I see the roll. It's a 2. Maybe I was
I got
watching.
6.
Ooh, who's the 19?
That's me. And he said,
Ooh, who's the 20?
24.
24.
with a total of 25 for me.
All right, guys. Heroic dice rolls. Let's continue. Now, please select one of you and just somebody roll me a D100.
You don't want me to have any part in that.
Oh, I have an actual D100. I want to roll it.
Or like a one piece D100.
Yeah.
Do you really have one of those?
Show it.
Yeah.
Show it.
The golf ball, right?
Yeah.
I had one, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it on, brother.
I have never bought one of those, but I've always wanted to buy one.
It's a big
Wow.
money.
That's bananas.
Roll it.
Just because I knew one time, I'm like, what? Why do you roll 2 dice when you can roll 1?
Yeah, like you have to save the energy and stuff.
As John's doing that, I was sitting here thinking, I was like, wow, we're very suspicious group, but also at the same time, at the level that we're starting all this at, and that everything that they've been through before, they've been involved with some really bad things and uncovered a lot probably in their days. And I imagine that's the first place they go is like, let's get to the bottom of everything we need to know and check everything out, make sure we're good because we're used to things going badly.
Yeah, who's gonna come for us in the middle of the night first?
Right. Well, and especially with Rax's particular perspective.
Okay,
Everybody's shady.
Let's hear the
40,
roll.
40 on the dice.
40. Okay.
And thank you for an opportunity to use such a pretty thing.
Mm-hmm. We'll have the opportunity to use it before. You said 40, right? Okay.
Yeah, 4-0.
Okay. So, are you heading out to Sorian Finance's room? So, are you coming? I'm finished with breakfast. He says. Okay, so he says goodbye to Lord Pritus Necra, who very elegantly stands and says goodbye and have a nice day, and sits down. And Father Volnir stands up as well and says, "Lady, gentlemen," and then sits and continues with the breakfast. Lord Necra eats very, very, very slowly, and then you all go up to this room. Let me not move all the characters. I'm just showing.
Yeah, it's the corner room.
You can all do your homework with the moving of characters, but we move here.
That's a great question. As we're walking or heading over, look over at Lars.
Something we've not talked about is I know there's a lot of your kind that can change their shape. How's that coming along for you? Is that something that's an option for you?
I hope soon. I'm still too young.
Well, listen, I think you look great. If I could look like that every day, I would do it for sure. But I figured I'd check in just so we can, maybe plan for it a bit. But that's all good. You do you, my son. We've got your back. Teamwork and all that.
I will have to squeeze now. That's the disadvantage of it.
Maybe we can find
And
you something
I
to
judge, he's judging how big the door frame is for his for his frame.
It's about to stretch the construction of the ship a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, open up the door a little bit.
Okay, so well, you step in Merop. This is a very small room, right? So you can fit like 2 of you, probably max 3, but you need to move the chair.
It would just be outside. He wants to be close, but
yeah.
I watch the door.
So you step in the room, and then he pulls up a curious item, which I'm going to show you. As soon as I find my window for that. So he pulls up this item. this is a box, like a circular box made out of metal, and you can see there's this rotating top, and there's a glowing gem of probably a ruby on the top, right? And well, he turns around, so that you can see what he does, and you can see from the movement of his arms that he's turning the dial on the top. I'm sorry, I need to. Oops. 1 second. I'm sorry, I need to put this in view for the stream to make it visible. There you go. So he turns around.
Kick out of it.
Too many things to do. So he turns. So you don't see how he rotates, obviously the top part, and then he opens it, and then he turns to you and brings up the shell itself, which I will show you again. So this one just goes to the side. And he brings up the shell, which is this one. Sorry, I will move the characters out. You move over there, ring, like that, and then zoom in on where it needs to be. Zoom, and here we go. And click out. Yes. Yes. Not there. Where can I click out? Oh, that's not the thing. There you go. So he brings up the shell. From this, well, it's obviously it's bigger, and it fits in there. So for the size difference, the clam is smaller than the repository itself. He calls it as he said, the reliable repository. As he brings up the shell, you can see these pearls. If you zoom in, you can see forming little skulls here and there. Some of these pearls are not even pearls but gems in this bowl shape, and then you have this text in red, and then you have the sign, half of the sign in between. So this is it, and it sparkles, here and there, like magical little sparkles on the gems and the pearls, and it's, in the inside there's this rainbow shift of colors, and it's all very, very mysterious.
Is it some kind of check to combine our languages?
Yeah,
How does that work?
we'll figure out. If you both can succeed on an intelligence check of, let's say like 14, both.
Okay, that's a challenge.
No, it's not. Just roll it. You got this.
Is there any religion, arcana, history, or just straight intelligence?
Well, let's go for the language thing. There are lots of things you can do.
Nature, probably, no? I would think.
Nature for what?
Or languages, for
The nature of language.
Nature.
just straight intelligence. All right.
Straight intelligence. 14.
20.
Wow.
See, you just gotta tell the dice to behave.
Seven.
That doesn't.
Oh,
You can use your inspiration die. There you go. Session almost over.
Oh, 1.
very inspiring. Very inspiring.
So,
But Rex also speaks Aquan, I guess, right?
Ko does.
Or Ko does, sorry.
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
so you don't
Oh, could you help me out here? Help? Oh, advantage?
It's not an advantage. You had a fair roll. Co can try.
Okay.
Looks like
So-
gibberish to me.
In that case, I will try to help. Can I help Ko going? I was almost there. I felt that.
Power player. You can. Go ahead.
12. Just intelligence. I have no modifier. And I'm getting advantage?
Yes, you
Or no?
are. Yeah.
Okay.
There's the lucky one.
Oh!
Unlucky one.
No love. No love.
Very difficult language.
No.
Has a lot of nuances, so it's very hard to interpret.
A last chance for your inspiration die. Don't forget the inspiration die. All of you have one for each session.
Okay.
Great, good.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if you can use it for an advantage. Use it.
You're in charge, so.
Yeah, I'm in charge. Use it.
So we're
I rule. You use it. I want to
Okay.
spill the information.
We happily concede the power together.
I think the fates have told us much.
What was
Did
your
you
roll?
did you roll it again, April?
Yeah, I rolled it again and rolled a 2. The
Oh.
numbers just kept on diving.
So wait, you rolled an advantage with advantage, and it was 2.
No, I rolled with advantage, and it was like 12, and then it was 4, and then you said I could use my inspiration.
Yes.
And that was a 2.
So that's what I'm saying. You can use the inspiration die with an advantage. So roll twice.
Okay.
Last chance.
Last chance.
Yeah.
After the last
Don't
chance.
forget-
That's
Don't forget to add your modifiers to it.
Yeah.
Roll that dice. Roll that dice.
Nope.
Not Thursday.
It's very strange. It's very strange because not all of the rolls are showing on my screen. Okay,
Oh.
anyway.
Yeah, Lars
Well,
says
No
That's the
idea.
rune. That's the rune in Elvish for underneath.
At this moment, absolutely unprecedented from outside, you can hear loud music, but it's trombones and trumpets and violins, and it goes and then a big bang of a, how do you call this, like a drum, like, and then somebody goes singing like really loud, but it's like unnaturally loud, and then you can, as you look back, everybody's running upstairs, to see
from the
what's-
deck?
from
the
the
main
deck, from the sea actually, and then everybody, hey, what's going on? I don't know. Let's go check it out. And then it goes bam 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 bam, and then it's like a really loud and happy and energetic music, and somebody starts singing on it in common, I would say, and yeah, everybody's like rushing up. And, hey, what's that? Let's go upstairs. And then Sorian Franz is like, what's going on? And then he turns and puts the thingy back to the reliable repository, and then puts that in back, I don't know, between his sheets. And then he's like, he closes his door with the key, and what is going on here?
Mayra says,
go and look.
"Thank you for your cooperation."
Yeah, Lars
Hearing
bolts towards the
go.
door and tears up. Yeah, and goes to the
Yeah.
You all go to the deck. So you see all of the crew just rushing out to the sides of the railing and leaning over and watching what's going on, and you can see another ship closing in. They are not far, a couple of 100 feet, but the booming voice of their music is unnaturally loud. It looks like there's a podium in the middle of the elevated. There's an elevated podium in the middle of the main deck on their ship, and there are 6 yet smallish looking figures, of course, because of the distance, moving around and using musical instruments, the ones you hear, but obviously you can hear it's amplified by magic, and it's really loud, and they are dancing on the stage, and there are lots of there's a sailor's crew around them who just stand by or hold a rope or just do their stuff or navigate the ship close to yours. But these 6 are waving and playing violin, and one of them is with big drums on his belly, boom 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 boom, and they are all creating this music, which is again really loud. So Geeks comes. What's the circus about? What is this circus here? I was having an afternoon nap. Hey, who are these? Then Jade says, I don't know. Some monkeys. I don't know why they are jumping around like that. And you can see this ship closing in, and It doesn't have weapons, and Gix is like, he runs to the wheel and kind of like steers out of the way with the ship, like very slowly, and kind of evades, not just keeping distance, and then there's as they come closer, these people from the other ship, one of them just shouts and says, "Hey friends! We are here to celebrate. We are here to uplift the mood, and this is a really fortunate meeting on the waters. We are bards. We are here to bring joy through our music." But his voice is booming through the water, like obviously, I'm saying, amplified by magic. And this is the ship is draped in colorful, flags and everything, like these flags flopping in the air, and this is where we conclude our session today.
Excellent. I think both John and Co are scared at this.
Suspicious ship.
Yeah.
So far.
All right. So, as we always do at the end, I would like to ask your impression about the story so far. How how your whole overview of the story changed so far. This is all, of course, very preliminary. We're building it up slow. I'm telling our viewers that this is we are taking it slow, but this is how it should be. And what do you think, guys? So, April, what do you think? What's your takeaway? How did you interpret all that happened?
Oh yeah. Well, I got some information. So there's, I think it's still, there's so much going on, and I think, like Joe had talked about, kind of our perspective of playing the campaign at this high level. These are characters who they've seen some stuff. So every time they get involved in things, they're probably always looking, especially for Mayra, because the last 10-15 years that she's been on the surface, it's been primarily, most of this time is at sea, and most of the time at sea, while she loves being there, it's been going up against bad things, and so she sees the sea as this vast, beautiful, just that's the place to be. But it's dangerous, and you need to be aware. And now hearing all these different elements and this unknowns, and there's like so many things that she's like, okay, we have to think about this, and we must think about this, and we must think about this. Yes, that's all good, Rex. Fun is to be had, but think about this. So I think that's very much every time something gets introduced, she starts to try to want to put it into one of those boxes of, right, she has that same curiosity and need to understand that Rax does, but maybe from a little bit different perspective of, how does this fit? How dangerous is it going to be? How are we going to have to deal with it? What is the mystery? But she also does truly, like the relic, Xantharos, she would normally be more interested. The issue of the slavery for her kind of overshadows it all. The relic itself, though, the idea of getting out there and exploration and finding new things and learning new things and exploring is very much something she loves. And so the relic from that standpoint is also very fascinating, of another piece into this amazing, fantastic location that unfortunately we haven't had much of an opportunity to know about because of the subjugation and the fact that it's, been taken over by this very evil. So yeah. Lots of thoughts.
Okay. Joe?
I think that from a character standpoint, there are times when it's time to relax and just be and kind of meander through the days and enjoy your time. And then there's times when you're involved in stuff, and then there's times you're involved in something really heavy. And there are these little clues that come in. And I think for Rax, it started off very casual. Oh, we're going to get paid to just go take care of some fish people. No problem. That sounds great. Drink up, lads. It's all good. We got, and then it's like now we're on, and then we get on this ship, and there's all these different really interesting characters with, what's going on with them, and now all the stories about this island. So his kind of danger sense has ratcheted up quite a bit, which is why he was like, I'm going to take a look around, and let's get some information. Because it's like now we've gone from it's a casual sort of, easy sort of job to, this is a thing and there's levels of mystery. And so we need to know what we need to know to do what we got to do so that we can also survive it and get back to easy days. So it's a bit like super heightened sense of alarm, which probably kicked off at the dinner last night is when all of a sudden the tone changed heavily for him. And I love it. I love the mystery. I love all the layers of story stuff that I don't, Joe doesn't know all of this, obviously at any level that like y'all do. So it is so cool the way the information is sort of rolling in. The world just keeps getting bigger and richer and bigger and richer. And it's beautiful world building, and I'm here for it. I'm really here for it.
Yeah, to echo and say a little different, I think it reminds me of the old when you're giving speech idiom of tell them what you're going to tell them what you told them, and like the way you guys have layered that in there. Because John, the first at the dinner, I'm like, I'm not going to remember any of these names, and I've kind of designed code not to care. So I'm like, oh no, that's not going to work. But like, oh wait, now you've nuanced. Okay, now I'm meeting two people and talking to them and getting to know them individually, and that's reinforcing what you told me last night. And so both John and Co are both knowing the things without having to do a hard note taking thing, which is great. And I'm assuming it's only going to increase. And I think for me especially, it's layering the mystery of, oh wait, I have to investigate, I have to ask more, I have to probe, but still have this politic type thing that I don't think Co cares about. But nuancing that on a character is so much fun. Of okay, this is where he would care, this is where he would push, this is where he wanted, and it's a fun nuance for sure. And yeah, I'm looking forward to turning more pages.
So if I can ask my my fellow players, hi Baldur, Mayra, person she is most suspicious of at this point, Lord Pritus.
Oh.
So I'm curious. Oh, I'm gonna go take my. He's really upset. He needs to go outside. So I'm gonna exit real quick. But so I want to put
who we're most suspicious of.
Yeah. Who are you guys eyeing as not really trusting them most suspicious?
Co.
Joe, your video just froze.
Oh,
That's good.
oh,
Is it back?
it's moving really slow.
Oh, okay, a little choppy.
No, not choppy at all. Just slow, like.
Anyway,
Well.
it happened in the end. We can hear you fine. It's a nice shot of you, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I worked hard on that pose. Yeah, I would think. I would think probably the same. I mean, Sorian really comes across to him like, look, I acquire these goods and then I do this. I mean, I think Rax has worked with smugglers before, also. A little shadier version of a merchant, and he's worked with smugglers and fences and he's been like, look, they are just the in between for the goods. So he's like, this guy seems like a legit merchant to some degree. He's like, I totally get it. Yeah, but he just happened upon something that clearly sparked a lot of interest, and he trusts Mayra and Co and Lars to such a degree that when there was that increased interest in the item, he immediately had an increased interest in it because he's like, I got some really smart friends I travel with. What's up? So I think that I agree with you, April. That's probably who he's most suspicious of as well.
Co would
Suspicious
be
of
the,
what? Okay.
Oh, Lord
Yep.
Primus? Why am I suspicious of him?
No, it's just that he, there's nothing happening. You're just traveling.
Oh, yeah, sure. He hasn't said or
We're
done
building it up slow.
anything.
We're traveling with magic like relics in ruby encrusted repositories,
Yes.
heading to an island full of half dragons that are built
Well,
on
you
the
know,
body of an
look
old
at-
deck.
look at-
Nothing suspicious going on.
Look at it from his side. He wouldn't just travel around without having an obviously magical repository in his possession to protect his kids. Okay. So yeah, we are, as you can see.
One interesting tidbit I'd like to add that it was just a half sentence of Gubby's that the policing force or the police force of the Seat of Scales are actual dragons.
Yep.
So I'm curious how that will turn out with Lars coming into the city, because we have
You know exactly how it will turn out. You wrote the story. All right, guys, we are.
Yeah, but not for a dragon. So I'm just.
Yeah. Well, we will play it out as it goes,
Yeah.
and we will roll, and the dice will
interested how that
decide. Yes, I want to add that. I would like to add that. Yes, we are layering it. Yes, we are taking it slow. We are honored to play with you guys because you like to take it slow. There's gonna be a lot more information. So John, buy a notebook, get a pencil.
Yeah, I was gonna hit you up in Discord about a few things.
There's stuff to ponder about and homework to do and stuff to discuss and all that and dive into more in more detail. And I would like to thank everybody for watching. Thanks to John, thanks to April and Joe from Twice the Dice for being with us on this journey. Their channel where they play Crown the Oathbreaker is going to be linked in the description below. Please check out Outer Brain if you're interested in this story that we are playing, Torrents of the Spellhoarder, and catch us on Discord anytime. We sleep just a few hours and respond very, very quickly. Please like and subscribe and keep track of our future sessions. So, see you next time. More adventures, more layers, more mysteries.
See.
Bye, seas.